In the Okanagan was something you could knock off in an afternoon, in between beach days. But as we told you last night in part 1 of this week's special series, it's now a vacation destination unto itself. But BC's wineries aren't stopping there. Spurred on by customer demand, more and more wineries are offering the full meal deal. And Linda Aylesworth has that story.
Grapes are in such demand in BC's Okanagan wine country that vineyards seem to be popping up everywhere. But there was a time when planting grapes here was considered, well, ask Ben Stewart what the locals thought when his father decided to get into the business 50 years ago.
It was like unheard of. I mean, nobody, I mean, think about the wines that we were producing in the 50s. I mean, the better wines in those days would have been Muscatel or Berry Jack or something like that. And the grapes, they didn't really need grapes. They just, you know, they were happy with just alcohol and some flavoring.
No one laughs at the Stewart family anymore. Today, Quailsgate is one of nearly 150 BC wineries that produce wines that stand up to some of the world's best. With those wines come tourists with more sophisticated tastes and appetites.
We surveyed them, and we knew that there was probably a lack of, you know, food outlets for people that were wine touring, and we wanted to help bring the wine touring experience to being kind of a more complete experience.
And so the Old Vines restaurant was born, a place that offers local cuisine in an unbeatable setting year-round. Winery restaurants, they're a growing trend in the Okanagan.
Gotta have wine. It's the nice thing about working at a vineyard. Get all the wine you want.
Lake Breeze was the first winery on the Naramata bench to serve food with their wine. The menu was simple at first.
Back in 95 when we first opened up, we started out doing just cheeses and meats and things like that. And the last 4 or 5 years now we're up at a full kind of Mediterranean themed menu. So we've come a long way in the last 14 years.
On a sunny day, their outdoor patio, which seats 40, is almost always full.
Wow. It was wonderful. I mean, after a wine tasting morning, I think it's essential you go and eat and get carbohydrates so that, you know, you can carry on in the afternoon.
It's elegant, it's sophisticated, but also casual. Is that what you're looking for? I think so, yes, definitely.
Something flavorful, something local, something creative, something that we're not going to get every day at home.
Speaking of things you don't get at home,
this is the unleavened bread. It's called bannock. Yep. The other is filoni. On the meat portion, we have got a venison sausage and a bison flat iron steak that's rubbed with a juniper salt and finished with a blackberry beef. Enjoy.
Ink Meat Cellars, North America's first Aboriginal-owned winery, has chosen to reflect its heritage in its menu.
Our chef, Patrick Ledoux, using fresh cuisine, simplistic food, but with an Aboriginal twist. So it's a unique experience.
The menus might vary from place to place.
Yeah, a little Pinot Blanc to deglaze the pan. I'm making a hearty bolognese sauce today, I thought.
But they all have a similar focus, one that gives winery chefs a challenge they embrace.
You know, the emphasis is on trying to make a wonderful match with the varietals that are produced in that winery with, you know, the food. So I have to think a little bit more about what I'm cooking.
It's what today's wine tourist expects. And in the Okanagan, at winery restaurants like the Vineyard Terrace at Cedar Creek, it's what they get.
These are from Harker Farms over in Coston.
Of course, a dish, no matter how thoughtfully prepared, is only as good as the ingredients.
As local as possible, supporting local farmers, local product, it gives people the real BC experience.
At Burrowing Owl's Sonora Room restaurant, no corners are cut on quality, even if it does cost more. How would you describe today's wine tourist?
Very savvy shoppers, so they understand value for dollar, and also to take great pride in the environment and using local.
The public is demanding fresh and local and wild and organic. Definitely. It's a huge upturning market everywhere you go.
Unlike many winery restaurants that depend entirely on local farmers, Summerhill Pyramid Winery supplements from its own organic garden.
This is actually part of the Chardonnay garden, and what we're standing in is actually our varietal kitchen garden.
At Mission Hill, Chef Allemeyer has taken organic gardening to a new level. Wine being the main focus, he's divided his garden into 6 sections, 3 whites and 3 reds. According to Leisure and Travel magazine, he's elevated the Terrace restaurant to one of the top 5 winery restaurants in the world.
But do me a big favor.
Yeah?
Lean forward when you eat it, okay? Because it is going to be the juiciest, sweetest plum that you've ever had. It's really juicy.
You're not exaggerating. Now, what does this go with?
That is a golden plum, and we actually use those with Riesling and Vidal.
Inspired by the land and the grapes it produces, BC winery cuisine isn't working towards world-class status. It's there, and it's getting bigger and better every year.
We're building the Okanagan food and wine culture, and personally for myself, being part of the building team, being one of the architects, help building this culture there's nowhere else in the world I'd rather be.